and welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Camilla Tromborg and I am a mindset and manifestation coach. And on this channel you can find videos about mindset, manifestation and so much more. But in today's video I'm going to share a little bit about 30 lessons that I've learned in 30 years. So if that is anything for you, stay tuned and keep on watching. So I recently turned 30, and which is quite fascinating that time has already flown by so fast, and I tend to learn a lot of lessons in my life, and I would love to share those things. Those of you who follow me on Instagram already knows this. This is what I'm here for, sharing what I learned so that it might be beneficial to you as well on your life journey. So I asked on Instagram if you wanted 30 lessons that I've learned in 30 years, and you all said yes. So of course that's what I was going to do. I already made an Instagram post where you can see all the lessons that I've learned, but I wanted to make a YouTube video to elaborate a little bit more into each lesson. It's going to be 2-part videos because it's too long to make like 30 life lessons into one single video, I think. So it's probably going to make 2 videos. So let's just get started. So my lesson number 1, life lesson number 1, and I have my notes here on my phone, so I'm just reading the lesson. Karma is real. What you give out comes right back to you. I don't think there is much more to say to this in this essence, and then again there is like so much to say about this, but it really is that karma is like this ancient law that has been talked about for many years, and I have believed in it for a long time, and I've come to believe in it more and more and more over the years as I've gone about my life and learned my lessons. What you give out is truly what you get back. If you give out good things, if you give out love and care, concern, if you give out advice, if you take care of others, that's exactly what's going to come back to you as well. Whereas the opposite is also very true. So if you give out criticism, if you give out hatred, if you give out, anything of that sort, that will come back to you as well. The thing is with karma, sometimes we think that, if I do this to someone, then that will come back from this person to me again, eventually. I have learned in my own life that is not necessarily the case. The karma doesn't necessarily come back to you from the specific person that you might have interacted with in the first place. But karma always comes back to you in whatever way or form. Like the universe pays attention to what you're putting out, and it gives it right back to you, maybe right away and maybe a little bit down the road. But it always comes back to you. So take that with a lovely lesson and use that for your own advantage and to spread more good into this world. The more good you give and the more love and care you give, the more you're going to get back as well. Life lesson number 2 is, if you keep getting hit with the same struggle, there's probably a lesson there you still haven't learned. So, and without getting too much into depth, because I don't want it to get super personal or anything like that, but I have learned in my life that sometimes, I've had the same lessons over and over and over again, and I keep being like, wow, what's happening here? Why do I keep getting the same thing over and over again? And it is very honestly just because I haven't learned the lesson yet. I haven't really stepped into my worth. I haven't spoken up for myself. I haven't, whatever it might be. And this can be lessons in all areas of life. It could be a relationship you keep getting again and again. For instance, with partners, like you keep getting the same sort of partners. Maybe there's something for you to learn. It could be a job situation. You keep getting hit with the same struggles or problems. There's probably a lesson for you to learn there. So whatever it is that you keep feeling like you're going in this loop, whatever you do, you just end up in the same thing. There is still something for you to learn there. So instead of viewing it as like a struggle, take this time to look internally and see, okay, what is there really for me to learn here? Do I need to say no? Do I need to stand up for myself? Do I need to work on my self-worth and my self-confidence, or whatever it is? Look into it and see what comes up for you. Life lesson number 3 is what you focus on grows. So this is something I'm sharing all the time on all my social medias and my channels and with my clients and things like that. This is so important, and something I also need to remind myself of again and again, because it's something that seems so simple, yet it's so easy to forget about it. But what you focus on really grows. If you want something to grow in your life, if you want a relationship to become better, if you want to improve a skill in a certain area, or if you want to grow your social media or your business or whatever it is, you need to focus on it. If you just put your attention and your focus elsewhere and just don't give it the enough nourishment, then it won't grow. So what you focus on grows. So use this to your advantage. Like, choose what it is that you want to grow in your life. Like, you want a more loving relationship, you want better friendships, you want an amazing job, whatever it is. You need to focus on it, and you need to give it your love and care, energy and attention, and then it will grow. It is simple, but it's so easy to forget in our day-to-day life, where we are distracted and we just go in the same loop again and again. But this is so important. What you focus on grows. Life lesson number 4 is that be open to it being way better than you could ever imagine. I have experienced this again and again in my life by now, and I continue to do so. We are limited by our own upbringing and our own imagination. You can only imagine so much, and you think that this is probably the best thing you can visualize for yourself in your life, but the universe is so much grander. Just look at, nature, look at the universe, look at the stars, the galaxies, like, look at this amazing universe that we live in. You can't even comprehend some of the things that's unfolding in this universe. So why do you even believe that what you can imagine is the best thing that could happen to you? What if the universe has something even bigger and even better in store for you? Be open to it being way better than you could even imagine. I want you to visualize, I want you to dream up your dream life, and I want you to get into your desires, what you want, but still be open to that you can't even imagine the grand life that the universe has in store for you. So be open to that and see what unfolds from that place, because the more open you are to receive, the better things come into your life. Life lesson number 5 is what you give out with an open heart comes back tenfold. I have learned about the concept of Aini, and I'm going to share more about that in another time, but this really is about reciprocity and giving out with an open heart and not expecting things in return, but just giving from a place of I want to give, so I'm going to give. That really lets this universal flow through you. So when you come from this place of what you give comes back to me 1,000 times around, but not with the intention of getting things back, but just with the intention of giving from the joy of giving, that is when things starts to catapult into your life. I've had this experience a couple of times now where I have donated to charity a certain amount because I just wanted to. I wanted to give and I wanted to get it out there, and then double the amount came back to me in a very short amount of time. I've had the same experience where I wanted to give a crystal to a family member, and I did, even though I was in the beginning I was like, oh, but I only have this one crystal, but I really wanted to give it to a family member, so I decided to do so. And literally a week or so later, I get the same crystal twice in different forms. The universe is just magical. So the more you can get into the mindset of what I give out comes back to me tenfold, and just have full trust that this is the case, the more beautiful you'll start to see the flow of life coming at you. Life lesson number 6 is to feel your emotions, otherwise they get stuck in your body. I started out as a holistic health coach, and I've learned so much about emotions, our physical health over the years, and it's still some of the things that I'm learning, of course, but I've learned to master it so much more by now. I have learned that it's so important to release emotions in a healthy way, of course, through crying, through writing down your frustrations, through talking it out, to just, shaking your body and getting rid of anger and frustrations and things like that. When I was younger, I used to hold back so many emotions. I didn't allow myself to get angry, I didn't allow myself to cry, I didn't allow myself to show very many emotions to people around me. So I just kept it in. And it kept, I believe that you are a holistic being, and when you keep in emotions, they get stuck in your energetic system. So if you keep in anger, it will come out in another form. If you keep in fear, frustrations, sadness, whatever it is, grief, it will stay stuck inside your body in one way or another and form into diseases eventually. So the better and quicker you can release as soon as you feel the emotion, the better. So learn to feel your emotions and express them in a healthy way. And of course, connect if you feel like you need support on this way. If you are struggling with many things, definitely seek out help. But this is so important, releasing emotions from your body, because otherwise your energetic system will get blocked and stuck, and there you will feel stagnation, you'll feel like things just aren't flowing, and all of these things. So release your emotions in a healthy way is so important for your health and well-being. Life lesson number 7 is, let me see here, you may fail a lot, but you actually learn a whole lot more from failing than you do from succeeding. Take note, edit, and then rise again stronger. So the concept of failing is one that I've truly learned to appreciate more and more. I hated to fail when I was younger, and I felt like that was something was wrong with me, and I wasn't worthy and I wasn't good enough if I failed at anything. But I've certainly come to learn by now that failing is an inevitable part of life, and that is how we grow and evolve. That's how we learn things and take them in, and then twist and turn and edit, and then it becomes something else. Like, just like a little child is learning to walk or even just crawl. Like in the beginning, it just keeps falling and it stumbles, but you don't say to a little child, oh, you don't seem like you're good at that, maybe you should just give up. And the child doesn't think that itself. It might get frustrated, it might cry, it might be angry and frustrated for not being able to do so, but it keeps going, and eventually it will start crawling and eventually also walk. The same should be true for us, but we tend to be so hard on ourselves and give up very easily when we don't see like we succeed right away. But I've learned, and I'm still learning, that through every single failure I've been through in whatever area of my life it has been, I've learned something, and I've been able to take that little lesson that I learned from failing and then twist and change something, and then it has become better the next time I did something, and then again and again. And I've also learned to detach from, feeling worthy and feeling good enough to be connected to, I have to succeed. That is not the case. You don't need to succeed in life and the things that you do in order to be worthy and whole and perfectly fine as you are, because you already are whole, you already are worthy. You don't need to succeed. You are whole right now. But you learn a whole lot more from failing than you do from succeeding. So take the lessons that you learn along the way and use them to grow even further than you could ever go if you just succeeded all the time. Life lesson number 8 is that you grow outside of your comfort zone. And those of you who have been following me for many years perhaps by now, you will know that I hated speaking publicly. I hated it when I was younger. It was the worst thing I could imagine when I went in elementary school, also high school. I would rather call in sick almost than do presentations and talk in front of peers and peoples. And if you know me and have been here for a while, maybe you've seen the first video that I did on Instagram, where I was so scared of doing it. And I feel when I look back at it now, I look so nervous and I look so like, oh, what am I doing here? Yet it has propelled me forward, and I've kept getting out of that comfort zone again and again and again. I could still be better, of course, in many areas. That's where I need to learn and improve. But public speaking and speaking like this and showing up on social medias and things like this is something I've grown tremendously from. And I've learned so much about not only speaking, communicating, connecting, so many things. But it was outside of my comfort zone, because this is certainly not something I just grew up being comfortable with. So this is something I had to learn, and something I still felt the call to do, which I also think is important. You should not necessarily just go out and do something out of your comfort zone if you don't feel called to do it. But I felt like I wanted to share my messages, and I wanted to get out there and reach more people and spread inspiration and motivation and all of these things. And I could only do so if I started to show up like this. So think about, where have you been hiding, and where have you been holding in your own comfort zone, and how can you just take a little step outside of it and see, like, you start to experience that when you do take these steps outside of your comfort zone, you're like, oh, okay, that wasn't that bad maybe, and wow, that's actually pretty exciting, and that was something to learn for me. And your comfort zone grows more and more and more, and thereby also your world. So broaden your world by stepping outside of your comfort zone and dare to go out there. This is where life truly gets started. Life lesson number 9, it's hard to keep count here, is that small things done consistently over a long time yield to big results. So keep going. This is probably one of my biggest life lessons, and again, something I still struggle with from time to time. But you don't need to go big in order to get a big result. It's oftentimes the small things, the small habits that you do consistently and stay consistent with over time and time again. You know, just like stepping it up slowly and slowly and slowly, that's going to get you the big results in the end. And this can be in any area of your life. It could be fitness-wise, like you want to start training. We all know that feeling when you want to start training and then you go all in and you go all in for the first week, then you burn out and then you give up. That's not long-lasting. That's not like something that can keep going. But if you just start a little bit and then increase the amount slowly and slowly over time, and also build up the muscles, build up the stamina, then you'll be able to go way bigger and way longer in the long term. And this is important. And the same goes for business, the same goes for building relationships, whatever it is, the small things, the small habits, all done consistently over a long time really adds up. So keep going, even if you don't feel like you're getting any results right now from what you're doing. Keep going and be consistent, and you will grow eventually. Life lesson number 10 is that everyone is doing their best with the knowledge and upbringing they had. I have not always known this, of course, but I've known this for many, many, many years by now. I believe so deeply that every single soul here on this planet is doing the best they can with what they have available for them, in terms of the knowledge they've been provided, the social care they have been provided, the not good things they have been provided with in life. This has all impacted them. This has all created them to be the person that they are today. Of course, we can change and do things differently, but I do believe to always be loving and have in mind that maybe you feel someone else is being angry for a certain reason that you don't see at all, or you see someone getting frustrated this quickly, and whatever it might be, you might start to judge someone for behaving in a certain way. Then it's so important to remember that they have had a totally different life experience from you. They might have experienced something in the past that triggered these emotions when they get in certain situations, or they might not have learned about that very little thing that you've learned about, which has changed your life. So always know that everyone is doing the best they can with what they had available to them. And the same also goes for your parents, being happy and kind and appreciative, of course, of what they did with your upbringing. You might not have agreed with everything they have done, but they did the best they could with the upbringing that they had. So always have this in mind with everyone else that you encounter. Know that you are not living in the same world. You all have different worldviews, and we all view the world differently. We have all had different experiences. And just have that in mind, and know that everyone is doing their best with what they have grown up with. Life lesson number 11 is that if you don't appreciate what you already have in your life, you will never get more. This is the concept of gratitude. I have found again and again that we can easily, or I have easily been able to get into a situation perhaps where I feel like I have moved on, or I'm ready for the next thing, something like that. And then I start to don't appreciate what it is that I am already present in. And the more I get into that headspace of being frustrated, of not being further, of not going into the next step that I feel like I'm ready for, and then being frustrated at where I'm at, the more icky the situation becomes, the more horrible the situation becomes. So the more that you can appreciate the situation that you're already in, and appreciate what it has given you, what it has provided you with, what it has taught you, and all these things, and being grateful for it, the more quicker things will turn around for you. You're never going to get more in life if you don't appreciate what you already have. Like, the universe is just going to be like, she just keeps complaining. She's just not grateful for what she already has. So why would she be grateful for more? Learn to appreciate and be grateful for what you already have in your life and where you are. And thereby you'll start to attract more amazing things into your life. Life lesson number 12 is a life lesson, but also just a loving reminder to you and to me. Own your power, woman, and just shine your light. I have spent so many years hiding. I spent so many years holding back. I spent so many years not sharing my voice, sharing my wisdom, sharing what I'm here to share, sharing my true authentic self, because I've been afraid of judgment, criticism, what will others say, what will my friends and family think. All of these things have been holding me back from just showing up and being who I really am in this life. And I know this is not just me. I know so many of you out there are in this exact same position. Maybe you've started to get out of it a bit, or maybe you're just on the brink of wanting to get out of it and not care so much about what others will say about you. But I know the feeling. It's not easy, and this really is also getting out of your comfort zone and just getting back into being who you are, standing in your own power and being your full self and sharing your light with the world. This is what the world needs, and this is why I'm here. This is why I'm doing videos like this. This is why I'm creating content. This is why I'm doing my programs and courses. I want you to get into your true authentic self. I want you to share your light. I want you to show up as your full self, because I truly believe that is how we create a better world. So, loving reminder, own the power that is within you and just shine your light, and let go of the fear of what others will think or say or judge you for. Just shine your light. Life lesson number 13, let's see if the counting here, is connected very much to the previous one. This one is, You hiding your gift is a disservice to the world. So this is something I've heard from many of my mentors in the past, and I didn't really understand it fully at first, but I've come to understand it more and more, and I'm still learning. If you have a gift of any kind, it could be that you're an amazing painter, or it could be that you're an amazing coach, it could be that you are incredible with something, like you are just amazing at making clothes or whatever it might be. But you're hiding your gift with the world because you don't fully believe in yourself, and you're like, but I'm not that good, and you feel a little like an imposter, and you feel like, who am I to do this? So you hide your gift from the world. That is harming the world. This is a disservice to the world. You came here to this planet to share your gifts with the world. Just think about how much more beauty could be created in this world if you shared your art with the world. Or think about how many more people you could help if you started showing up and spreading your voice with the love and wisdom that you have. You hiding your gifts is a disservice to the world and to the people that you're meant to help in this world and inspire or motivate or whatever it is. So start to show up. You never know who is listening, who is watching, who is going to be impacted by what you share or create. So don't hold back, but start to share and spread your light. And don't think so much about yourself, but think about how it can impact others and inspire and help others. Life lesson number 14 is that the universal energies respond to you. Change your vibration and you change your life. This is the law of attraction in its essence. This is the law of vibration. What you send out, the frequency you send out, who you are showing up as, how you feel, all these things are all vibrations. And this is what I go deep into in my programs on a very deep level, so you fully understand it and connect with it. But the universe responds to your energy. The universe responds and gives things back to you based on the energy that you are sending out. So if you feel worthy and you feel whole and you feel like, I'm just here living my best life and everything works out for me, everything is amazing, all these things, this is what you're going to attract right back to you. But if you're down here and you feel like, I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough, who am I to blah blah blah, and you question everything and you just don't feel good, of course there's going to get more of this back to you. So the lesson really is to learn to master the universal energies and master your own frequency and energy, and thereby attract beautiful things into your experience. If you are interested in more of this, definitely come and join my programs and come and find me in some way or form and get inspired to how you can do so. Life lesson number 15 is, if you feel stuck, know that the only thing that's holding you back is your own limiting beliefs, and you can change these. Yeah, so what is there to say about this? It's easy to feel stuck in life and feel like, nothing is working, nothing is going my way, I can't seem to get to the next place. But the thing is, this is just you holding yourself back. This is just a limiting belief saying that you can't do this, that you can't be this, that you can't have this, and you can. The beautiful thing really is that you can change those limiting beliefs. Again, it takes a little practice and it takes some time and consistency to change those old habits and beliefs that you've had your entire life, however long you might have lived up until now. It takes time to change them, but you can change them. And when you do that and you start to see, this is not true, this is just a limiting belief that I've had for years and years and years, but I don't need to subscribe to it anymore, I can believe something else. That starts to switch your world up, change your world around and create new outcomes for your life. This is also something I focus a lot on in my programs, like reprogramming your subconscious mind and changing your limiting beliefs, finding out where have they come from and how can we change them, and how can we start to believe something more empowering and something better that can create beautiful things into your life. So that was the first part of this video, 30 life lessons that I've learned in 30 years. I hope you enjoyed the lessons. I would absolutely love to hear your life lessons in the comments below, or if you want to share what were your favorite lessons in this video, I would love to hear that as well. So stay tuned for video number 2, which I will share shortly as well here on my YouTube channel. And if you aren't already subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe so you can get notified whenever I upload new videos. And like and comment on this video. That really helps me out, and it helps me to reach more people, more beautiful souls, which is what I'm here for. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you to those of you who said on Instagram that you wanted this video. I love sharing things like this and wisdom that I've learned in my own life. So I hope you got something out of it, and I hope you are going to have a beautiful day.